What's up, guys and gals? Happy Thursday, March 2nd, 2023. Hopefully you guys are coming off a good night last night, having a good day. Last night was kind of a unique top of the board for top scorers. Top dog, Jason Tatum, 41 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. Number 2, Devin Booker, 60 fantasy points, 37 real points, 6 boards, 7 assists. Two guys that I definitely had in the pool. Booker a lot less because the Suns were 10-point favorites. Kevin Durant was there. They only scored 105 points, and Booker was still able to achieve a top 2 score on the slate. Tatum in that pace. It's one of those 2 negatives equal positive things, right? 2 grindy out defenses going at it. Tatum was able to usurp the matchup and put up a big score there. Brandon Ingram, 3rd on the slate, 40 real points in 38 minutes of action. That was good for 59.5 fantasy points. Donovan Mitchell, running back at Jason Tatum, 44 real points in 44 minutes. Big game out of him. Jalen Brunson. So what you're not seeing here at the top 5, top 6, top 7 are the Damian Lillards, the Giannis Antetokounmpos, the Ja Morants, the guys like that. So if you went a little bit different yesterday, perhaps even more balanced than usual, probably was a good profitable slate. Good night to be contrarian. So hopefully you guys did well. Stacked Lakers, pretty much everything I did. Dennis Schroeder dropped 43 fantasy points, so that was an incredible table setter. Unfortunately, also had a ton of Jared Vanderbilt, and in 23 minutes of action, he was only good for 17 fantasy points. So kind of negated a lot of the good stuff that we had going on. But what are you gonna do? It's onward, upward. So if you didn't catch yesterday, hey, there's today. If you did, you want to catch a little bit more today, there's today. And then the prop streets. Oh, the prop streets. We went 4 for 4. We did 4 props on the stream yesterday, right? What did we end up with? We did Chris Paul over 8.5 assists. Figure with Kevin Durant, there's way too many closers for his passes that would get him there. It got him there. McConnell Bridges over 20.5 points. I think he had 21 points, so we kind of were on the right side of the hook there. Jaren Jackson over 36 fantasy points on PrizePicks. Even joked about him having like a 5-block game, and I think he actually had a 5-block game. So it was just so easy for him to get there. And then CJ McCollum over 5.5 assists. Back in Portland, he got there. So all 4 of the props that we researched into yesterday hit. So that was good. So overall, a good day yesterday. And today's a little bit more condensed slate, just 4 games. So hopefully we can still find some leans, but don't create stuff, right? Don't force to have 5 props that you play for the sake of playing. And then for the DFS side, remember these smaller slates, we gear towards respecting and appreciating floor more than usual. Slates like last night, you know you're going to need 50, 60s out of your top dogs and guys overperforming. On a 4-gamer, you kind of expect most half-decent plays are going to have 25% ownership or more. And then you don't necessarily need that super cyan ceiling in return. So we're going to work with that and go forward. What's up, Ducking? What up, Jay? Gray Kid? Noel? Kevin? Jenna? What's up, Jenna? Can't wait for baseball. Absolutely not. Better get on those Poole assists. 4.5. Don't. God dang it. Don't do this to me. Man, I took a shower and I was like, fudge, I'm out of bang or drinks. And I was like, what time am I supposed to start stream? Can DoorDash get here in time? I was like, I'll just drink some water. So I have a gallon of water in the fridge. Then I look down and just like staring at me, calling my name at the bottom shelf. It must have fell. Was the can of Monster. I was like, oh my God, won't he do it? So dumb. Speaking of baseball, we'll run this promotion, or we'll talk about the promotion again later, but we have basically an early bird pass that is just crazy value. So in the year pass, which is $4.99, that's for the rest of the entire 2023 calendar year. Because I haven't created the baseball season pass, I'll probably do that tonight. But in the meantime, crazy early bird value. The year pass is usually $4.99, but if we put in coupon code MLB, that's going to drop that all the way down to $3.99. So $3.99 for what, 9 months of VIP coverage. That's every sport, the rest of this NBA, the entire baseball season, the beginning, pretty much the entire NFL season, sans 2 or 3 weeks of postseason stuff. And then, of course, Smeezy's been covering NASCAR. That's daily spreadsheets for NBA baseball, the pre-lock discords. There's a lot of good stuff in this pass. So take advantage of that. Do it. And if you have any questions, DM me on Twitter, on Discord, or anything like that. Let's pop open the spreadsheet. What up, Taylor? What up, Ariel? What up, Dang Lazy Mofo? What up, Jay? Hope y'all are doing all right. Is the music too loud? I feel like I didn't set all that, but I guess it's good. I kind of didn't do a couple of tests before I went live. Heck, I didn't even mic check before I went live. I'm glad it actually worked. What We'll turn it down a little bit. All right, we good. We Gucci. All right, let's open up the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet. Toronto Raptors at the Washington Wizards. Project starting 5 for the Raptors. Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, Jakob Poeltl. Am I not Poeltl enough for the Poeltl Club? Taking on Delon Wright, Bradley Beal, Kyle Kuzma, Kristaps Porzingis, and Daniel Gafford. 2-2-2, and another one. 2's our total. 2-point spread in favor of the Raptors. Monte Morris listed as out. A couple things that stand out right away in terms of price discrepancies from site to site. On FanDuel, Jakob Poeltl's 8,400, on DraftKings 6,200. So that's a $2,200 discount from site to site. So it makes him a much more interesting, perhaps lucrative DraftKings play. So I'm certainly very interested in that. We'll pull up minute rotations as of late for the Raptors. Post the Poeltl trade, I guess. Poeltl's been, let's see, last game Gary Trent closed over him. Was that a matchup thing against, let's see, against Vooch, maybe. Let's go to the Cavs game. So Cavs have a little bit more size, so I wouldn't expect them to get them off the court. A little blowout there at the end. Cool. Pistons, meh. Poeltl was going nuts. All right, so maybe it was a matchup circumstantial thing. If we go back to the spreadsheet here, I put him down for 27 minutes. I think that's fair for what he's produced in the last couple games. For Porzingis and Gafford, if he doesn't get run off the court in the fourth quarter and the game stays competitive, I think there's a shot at 34, 35 minutes. So we'll see how that one plays out. I could see them selling out for more offense than a guy like Gary Trent if the game script kind of depended on it. But that was also a game where VanVleet was out, wasn't it? No, he was in. Okay, cool. So I'm very interested in Poeltl. It was more of a DraftKings click. And then overall, this is a game, like if this was a 10-gamer, I wouldn't be that enthusiastic about getting here. But since it's a 4-gamer, there's a lot of floor-to-ceiling ratio that I want to get access to. Near 8K VanVleet for the amount of minutes that's probably coming his way. 40-plus fantasy points, reasonable range of outcomes. Siakam versus Porzingis, a matchup that I wouldn't be that enthralled with at 9K apiece. But today they do offer at least 50-plus fantasy point potential. So that would be an ownership thing. If we were able to peer at ownership and get either one of them at a decently, like teens to single digits, then I would be interested. So Porzingis, 12. Siakam, let's see. So both of them are low teens here. So we're talking 1 in 10 lineups by the field should have them. So I think on a 4-game slate, that's reasonable enough to get there because they do have that upside. Gafford's kind of the same point of interest, not as drastic of a discount from FanDuel to DraftKings like his counterpart Poeltl, but a $1,200 discount's at least something that I'm slightly interested in, but I'd much rather find a couple $100 to go get to Poeltl. Delon Wright at 4,600 on DraftKings in the absence of Monte Morris does offer value. And on a 4-game slate, we're going to need some value to fit in some of these floor studs. You saw 27 minutes against the Knicks. Was not quite a point per minute, but 20-plus fantasy points. That dog just might hunt today. So let's look at Washington. Fastest gun has sped on the highway. I don't know, man. I don't think I've ever hit 100. I play by the rules. I go over the speed limit sometimes, but like not on purpose. But down here we have highways with speed limits of like 75. If you can't get where you need to go at 75, man, you should leave earlier. Delon Wright, yeah, he's 30 minutes against the Hawks. So I'm in on Delon Wright, but I don't think it's a massive spot, especially with Beal, Kuzma, and Porzingis on the court. Like he does have a range of outcomes where 18 to 22. Looking at raw projections for value today, Delon Wright, He doesn't even crack like the top 20. We have like Melton, Maxey, Niang. Niang is somebody that I'm probably not going to get to with confidence, but I guess what I'm getting at is I don't think Delon Wright's a must, but he will be in the blender for value. Yo, when I was in high school, it's a long time ago. What were we thinking? 2005. I think it was my senior year. I had a friend. They were in a band, and I was just like happy to hang with them. Back roads of Texas, Huntsville. Dark. Well, back then, a lot of cars. I don't know that I've seen cars nowadays that let you do it. You could turn the lights off on your car. Like, it was all manual. My man would hit the back roads, the dark roads. Probably hit to 100. Him driving, not me. Then turn the lights off to where you're just in this speeding vehicle in complete dark road, pitch black. And it's the weirdest feeling. Just absolutely pit in your stomach. Like, I was nervous. But I wasn't trying to be no punk. You know what I'm saying? But thinking back on it now, I should have punched him in his jaw for doing that dumb stuff. Because that's how people die. But when it comes to speeding, I guess that's what I think of. I don't know. Thoughts on my four-man of Kawhi, 24.5 points. Miles Turner, 19.5 points. Westbrook, 7 assists, and Poole, 4.5 assists, all overs. So the Westbrook correlates well with the Kawhi, sure. Turner, 19.5. Yeah, that's a massive matchup, 6.5 point spread. Yeah, I don't mind any of those. I think it works. 04. We do 75 in the driveway. Where I'm from, 70. The speed limit's just a suggestion, a minimum. I remember driving through, I think, Tennessee or Virginia, and they have speed limits, and then signs that say speed limit enforced by aircraft. And I was like, yo, am I gonna get bombed if I speed? That's a lot of animals. Yeah, man, you never know what's on the back roads of Texas, man. Deer, possums, cows. I really should have punched him. He put me in danger. Must have been faded. No, not gun. Gun's never been faded ever. Not once. 04, 05. Oh, we got some old school. I was class of 06, but I graduated early. I wouldn't recommend that. If you guys ever have, I have youngsters in my life now that are geniuses and have the opportunity to graduate early. I don't tell them what to do, but I always tell them that's probably something I wish I could do over. It's because you don't get those years back. Why leave, really? I was in college. When I was in college, I was like 16. You can't be friends with anybody. Like, no one wants to be a friend with a 16-year-old that they can't take nowhere. So I would do that all the way over, unless they're just straight up nerds that don't care about anything. But yeah, don't mess with Texas. Yeah, things we do as kids. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But that's a feeling that I'll never forget. And he would do it all the time. Thankfully, they can't do that anymore. All right, let's go back to some of these Wizards minute rotations. So last game, Porzingis was out, right? So that's why Avdija drew 30-plus minutes. Rebound machine. Now that Porzingis is back in the fold here, I guess it just dilutes everything. So I'd probably put Kuzma, Beal, Porzingis in a bucket. On the usual slate, I probably don't want more than one of those three. And looking at some of the options, I might still live by those rules. I think I will. So for now, we'll go max one of the big three from Washington and just kind of go on from there, 85 miles near South Austin. Yeah, there is some 80 pluses. I'm a big man. I don't need to go fast. I can go slow. I can enjoy the scenery. Let's go look at props from that game. I don't know why I'm in a rush here. We only got 4 games and it's only 3 o'clock. Let's look at the Raptors side. So Raptors are probably not going to be too enthralled with any props specifically. 2020 had to wear the dirty mask to graduate. Oh, that's the worst. It broke my heart for my nephew, man, to have to graduate that year. You know what I mean? Like, they did it outdoors at the football field. It's just a shame. Kids should be it. That's a special day. But what are you gonna do? Did you guys have anything that maybe Pirtle at fantasy points? I have him at 34, so slightly on the over, but it's not really something that I'm that convicted about. So maybe this is a game that I'm not super strung out on. Maybe, I don't know, on-off court tool for Washington. Does Monte Morris to Delon Wright move the needle that much, you know? Yeah, the pandemic for high school seniors. I mean, you know what I mean? Like school sports. Oh man, that was rough. I really do feel for those kids. Let's go Delon Wright. Let's put him, Beal. Let's take off Monte Morris. What happens with his backcourt when they're on the court together? Okay, Jake. What do you mean? Are you talking about for DFS? He hit us for PrizePicks, right? Assist rate. Bradley Beal at 32% assist rate. Actually, let me do a quick test here without putting Kuzma and Porzingis on. Let me put Beal and Monte Morris, and then we'll take off Delon Wright. Bradley Beal 30% assist feels high. So it's at 25 with Monte. So he really gets a tangible 5% increase in assist rate. Or that much, is that a product of small sample size or what? Let me look at something while that loads. Delon Wright 20% overall assist rate. And Monte Morris 5.3 assists per game, maybe. In 225 minutes, he has a 30% assist rate with Delon on and Monte off. Only 100-ish of those minutes are with Kuzma and Porzingis, but man, that's interesting. So with that, what are we getting as far as Washington? 6 assists. That's probably fair then. Looking at the market on that, I don't want to get too enthralled with props from this game. I think we're all here to stack Pacers and Spurs for props, right? Is OddsShopper down? Oh, it's loading. Beal's threes. I can get behind that. The Kuzma, yeah. Pandemic kids at no school. It depends on where you went. I guess there was like half a year down here where kids didn't go to school, but in Texas they were real quick to put those kids back in school, bro. Get them out of the house. Beal. So it looks like the line is at 6.5 on the market. So there is value just from an odds standpoint at just 6. So I guess they got moved down. I don't know. Some spots it's kind of a coin flip. So I guess the market moved it down, if we're being real. All right. That's probably just not a warm or fuzzy spot. I think this is a DFS game. I really don't see any strong leans for props to make me specifically hone in on somebody. It's a relatively healthy Raptor, or a fully healthy Raptors team, and for the most part a healthy Wizards team. Monte to Delon is more of a lateral than anything. So I'm gonna leave top tier props alone. You guys mentioned Bradley Beal threes. Maybe we get behind him or Kuzma or something like that when it comes to 1.5 for Beal. It feels low, but Kuzma will chuck. 4, 3. Yeah, I probably don't think there's enough volume there to feel good about that. So I'm gonna leave that alone. Let's go back to the spreadsheet and check out the next game. Sixers at the Mavs. Project starting 5 for the 76ers, James Harden, D'Anthony Melton, Tobias Harris, PJ Tucker, Joel Embiid taking on Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Justin Holiday, Reggie Bullock, Dwight Powell, 229 total 3-point spread for the home team, Dallas. There's a lot of juice on the over for his threes. Wonder why. I guess the Raptors are very good at preventing points in the paint, so it might funnel shots outside. How much juice are you talking? How much? I mean, if you're just into odds value, I certainly wouldn't push off. Yeah, minus 143 on the over. There's a lot of juice. There's so much juice that I'm surprised it's still on the board. So if you're just into odds value, like, yeah, Bradley Beal over 1.5 threes is there, but it's one of those why, you know. But I don't mind it in this for the sake of value. For this one, another spot where on a normal size slate, we're using two very slow-paced teams, and the Sixers bring a grindier defense. Sixers are on night 2 of a back-to-back, but last night Joel Embiid did not play, so it's questionable going into tonight again. I kind of felt like he would play, but I didn't know how to project this just yet. So let's see if we can get a blurb. He's probable, so I got to add his minutes. So he's good. He's good to go, which means out of all the studs, well, I don't say all the studs, but on this team, he's the freshest set of legs, and he's going against a Mavs front court that features Dwight Powell, Reggie Bullock. You know what I mean? So he should be able to have his way, and the pace being more his style, might be able to slow Boogie his way into one of the top fantasy scorers on the slate. So I do want to get to Embiid where I can. He has that responsibility and that stress to be the top dog on the slate at this price point. I'm trying to peruse that ownership. I don't think. Oh, he was included in. All right, so 1 in 4 lineups ish currently project to have Embiid, which, like I said, any good play on a 4-game slate probably starts off at 25%. So I don't mind, matching that instantly and maybe moving the needle to see if that's somebody I want to lean on a little bit more. And then Harden having his big man back. What does that do for his assist prop? Generally speaking, though, these big assist guys, when we start taking away some implied possessions, I don't feel as strong. Man, he's at 10. I don't feel as strong. If we go look at the team metrics chart and sort the league from slow pace to fast pace, Mavericks second slowest pace, Sixers essentially bottom 5 as well. So versus the average game, this is going to play a lot slower, which means a couple less possessions. And the 229 total feels a little bit high. Maybe we're expecting a lot of efficiency here, but that's a dangerous pace to bet double digit. Let's see, what's the market? How's the market feeling about Harden? Got 150 reasons to possibly make a takedown tonight. Let's go, Jim. Is that code for you're making 150 lines on a 4-game slate? How could you not finish first place? So it got moved down. It was at 10.5, which makes sense. Yeah, it's a non-warm and fuzzy spot. Embiid is probably going to be, when I'm done with projections, probably going to be 55 to 60 fantasy points. And they start the bidding at 54.5. So yikes. Fudge, man. This is a pretty, I won't say efficient, but expensive board. Maybe it's a game for unders. 24.5 on Toby. 25.5 on Maxey. Yeah, I'm not feeling great here. All right, let's go look at the Mavericks, and let's put Kyrie and Luka on the court together. See what's shaking, bacon. Drink levels of juice. Yeah, there's a lot of juice on that build prop. So much so that I wouldn't expect PrizePicks to offer that prop much longer. Kyrie 1.2 fantasy points per minute. I think this is busted. I think I said this last time. Oh, it's fixed. 1.6 fantasy points per minute for Luka. 38% usage, 42%. This ain't right. This ain't right. Site's busted. Let's slow it down. Let's put Kyrie on the court. That's all we need. Then we can put Luka. Luka's gonna read with him. All right. So Luka 43% usage with Kyrie on the court, with a 45% assist rate. That feels so high, but I guess it's right. So almost half of their scoring possessions involve a Luka assist. Is that real? So Luka's assist should be like 11.5, right? 7? Something doesn't add up here. That are those numbers just wrong? You can tell me that I'm wrong? Luka. So it got bet down from 7.5. What is happening? Found 150 lineups I went to. That's a funny for. Have you ever tried to run 150 lineups on like a Showdown or a small slate? It's dupe city. It's almost like, I don't say negative EV because whatever, but a lot of times I tried that one time and we tied for first, but then you lose money because so many people tie for first. So you can't win for losing. Ooh. Luka assist feels like it's low, but I don't know what the market's trying to tell me. 7 assists. Bump to 31.5 for his points. It doesn't seem like those numbers. This doesn't feel right. Like I don't think he could have a 45% assist rate with Kyrie on the court, but not have double-digit assist games. The line looks like Embiid out. Embiid's probable. Or at least that's what I had. I might have to do some digging on an alternative source. But some of these numbers just seem a little ambitious, drastic. But although we've got Embiid listed as probable, so I don't think he's out. He was out yesterday. So you're saying the field has bet Doncic's points up? I don't know, man. I don't want to get too stuck on overs on such a slow-paced game featuring a team on a back-to-back with some travel. But some of these numbers don't compute for me. How's Dallas 3-point favorites? Sixers on a back-to-back. Are the Sixers still road strugglers? Let's see. 76ers record on the road this season. 16-11. So they're 5 games above 500. And they're on a back-to-back. Ryan says the Clippers Warriors Showdown's all I'm playing tonight. Just going to play my top 20 lineups. I like that. Basketball Showdowns are fun because you could play the crazy value guy and the captain and not sell sometimes. Got a real quick rundown of who you're liking so far. Not really. We're only on game 2. It's only 4 games later, Ryan. So far, like the first 2 games, kind of slow pace. The props felt, man, there's not like people out to find a lane of edge, I guess you could say. I think we're going to just be really crazy on the Pacers and the Spurs. And it's kind of the same situation with the Sixers and Mavericks. Relatively clean sheets for injuries. 2 really, really slow-paced teams. So I'm pretty disciplined when it comes to not creating something out of nothing. You know what I mean? What is piquing my interest is the Luka assist, because his assist percentage, according to Add More Funds, is so high, but that hasn't been true results wise. So I don't know what I'm missing when it comes to that. So with Luka and Embiid, we might just attack the blankets here and try to get exposure to just putting it all together. So maybe PRA or points. I don't really want to sweat a 30-point game in such a slow pace. So maybe PRA for Luka. Maybe. Let's see. What's the market on PRA for Luka? Ultimately, like I hate to just fade the first 2 games for props, but I don't know. 48.5. Little steam on the under. Oh wait. There's a little bit of, there's 48.5 at some spots, 46.5 at others. This PrizePicks meeting us in the middle. 46.5. So they got the lowest number. And at 46, there's some steam on the over at Caesars. It's kind of coin flippy at BetMGM. So I guess the sentence would be, if I had to attack a Luka prop, it would probably be the PRA. Kind of implying him for that 25 to 35 window. Maybe the double-digit assists, the rebounds would be there. But nothing I'm going to force. Somebody mentioned first half Embiid points. I can get down with that. And then when they drop first quarter, remember Joel Embiid got that rotation where he plays the entire first quarter, right? And that's usually pretty fun. Essentially the entire first quarter with a 25% usage. We'll take that. So maybe I would get behind that. Fresh legs plays essentially the entire first quarter. So whenever they do drop it, and I don't know what it would be full game divided by 4 or first half divided by 2, which is 27. So 14 and a half, 15, 13 and a half. I don't know how they would slice that up. Maybe I would get down with that if I had to slice and dice, you know? 76ers on the back-to-back. Do they have to update injury report? Well, Embiid wouldn't be listed as probable because he was out yesterday. I'm doing fantasy today, too. I'm doing everything, Ryan. We're going game by game, spinning every angle. And, you know, if you guys have specific questions for fantasy or for props, we'll try to research it. They changed the color of my bear. The purple was red, 150. The purple was red. Let's see. Why? I think purple is the ultimate bear. I think. Let me see. Maybe I should order some new bears, but honestly didn't expect anyone to ever get to the purple bear, so congrats. Let's see, membership levels. All right, so I'll show you, Jim. The purple bear means that you have been a subscriber for 2 years, like a member. Dude, that's crazy. Thank you. But yeah, congrats on the purple bear. That's huge. I think you have to be the only one, and I don't know that anyone else is close. I don't know. Let me see. Nah, we'll do it later. But shout out to Jim. Oh, 2 years of support. It was like, yeah, $5 a month for this. Yeah, I'm in. Kyrie fantasy points. All right. 5.5 assists. 40 fantasy. Yeah, it definitely feels a little clickier. So Kyrie, he's had a couple games where he's exploded in the fourth quarter. Is that happenstance, or is this something that we can lean on? Is this like Isaiah Thomas, Mr. Fourth Quarter stuff? Let's see. Kyrie, fourth quarter here. 50% usage. in that Pacers game. Let's look at the Lakers game. Maybe Kyrie's second half props is the wave, 29% usage in that game. Well, only at like 11, so maybe this just happenstance. But yeah, I could get down with that. I have Kyrie at 46, so it's over 5 fantasy point discrepancy between my projection and theirs, so I can get down with that. I don't mind that. Kawhi is going to be the best MVP play, but his ownership should be lower than Tatum MVP was for the Showdown. Poole and PT are within 5 points of Kawhi projection. Yeah, I think in NBA for Showdown, you don't always need the highest raw scorer in the captain spot because of how salary shakes out. So sometimes in those games that have so many studs, I'll take like the value center, the best value points per dollar, put him, and that'll give me more opportunity to get, an extra stud from the game. So I think there's a lot of fun strategy when it comes to that. Whereas like Showdown for like baseball, like you probably have to have the highest raw scorer in the captain spot, but you can get away with it. And basketball, and even I guess football to an extent. I ate a purple bear once in San Diego. Oh boy. What's up, Nathan? Hope you're doing all right. Gonna need a cocaine bear. So my friend posted something on Facebook the other day. He said, "I'm writing the script to Meth the Gator. In the next 10 years, we're just gonna have drugged up animal movies." It's a real movie. It was based on a real event. The bear died. I think the bear was on coke for like an hour. Fourth quarter Kyrie's real. If you had to pick Luka or Embiid on FanDuel, that's an incredible question. I guess it would come down to position scarcity, because I think their projection is going to be pretty close. And I didn't have Embiid in the projection. So basically, we'll let PrizePicks, since it's FanDuel scoring, say Luka's projection for 52.5. Embiid's gonna be 55. So like the raw points are 54.5. The raw points are gonna lean Embiid. But do we have better value at center to where we can offset the position scarcity at guard? I'm just thinking out loud. It could be that and vice versa. So center value Monster. Oh no, I gotta fix that. So value center actually really, really sucks. So initially I'm gonna be pretty interested in grabbing Embiid, because Embiid could lap the field. I guess Miles Turner is the meet you in the middle option. But we look at point guard, shooting guard for value. I guess it's not Trey Jones. I guess it's really not. On FanDuel, you probably get away with playing them both if we find ultra value elsewhere. But I guess it's really a coin flip, man. Usually in those tight 1v1s, I'll lean the center. But I don't really think that there's a surefire, guaranteed answer there. I'd play range of outcomes and maybe ownership. Let me see, FanDuel. So in FanDuel, Luka is in 1 in 5 lineups, and Embiid is in 1 in 10. So Luka's double the ownership of Embiid on FanDuel. So if you want to play the ownership game, go that way. But I don't really think there's a really wrong pre-flop play. But I would probably say if you faded Luka, maybe play Kyrie and play that correlation, play some correlation to the fade. I don't know. What's your strongest two-man? We're working on it, Keisha Cole. R.I.P. Pablo Escobar. That's a good one. Hit that like button. Yeah, man, you guys want to hit that like, so I appreciate it. How you feel about Powell? Dwight Powell? I can't do it. 3,200 is really cheap on DraftKings. Like if you're in a pinch, like I say, you might get some weird names. playing a role, but I just don't think I can get there with any bit of confidence. Dwight Powell put up 18 fantasy points in 12 minutes against the Pacers. Good for him. Good for him. Why did he only play 12 minutes? Powell. He didn't start the second half? What was that about? Who started? Claybo's back. So that just adds to... Good lord. Bro, this looks like a... Looks like my blood pressure. What is this? They're all over the place. They got Markieff Morris involved. I think that front court is so volatile. It looks like Markieff, Christian Wood, Maxi Kleber, Dwight Powell. I don't know what they're doing. What's up, Wesley? I'll take my chances with Embiid. How do you feel about taking a chance on Wood on FanDuel? It's 50+ fantasy point ceiling. Well, I guess looking at that minute rotation, I wouldn't feel ever confident. But I guess I would infer or assume that if they find themselves needing offense, like he's an option. But at the same time, you know, his minutes are scatterbrained. So he does have that ceiling, but that ceiling usually is correlated with minutes, right? And with Kyrie and Luka, I don't think we've seen a massive minute game for him. So unless you're, what's his price? $6K. If you were managing a portfolio of 150, right, just to start getting some more volatile range of outcomes, sure. I couldn't see myself getting to him with any bit of conviction in like 20 lineups. Through 50 on Kawhi fantasy and Poole assists. I dig that. I think the last two games we're going to have more props that we like than the first two games. You like Jalen Smith? Let's get there. How many Washington players is too many in a lineup? I would probably say 2, and it might be like one of the big 3, and then one of the medium value, like Delon and Gafford. I don't really see myself getting more than 2 of the. That might, I don't know. It might be because on DraftKings, I guess it would be a site question, right? Like on FanDuel, it's hard to see 9+K Beal, 9+K Porzingis, almost 8K Kuzma. It's hard to see coexisting ceilings, but you don't really need super ceiling on a 4-gamer. But on DraftKings, the pricing's a little bit better. Like if Beal and Kuzma both got there and combined for 85, it wouldn't be a crazy output. So maybe on FanDuel, I don't know. Early on, I want to say one of the big 3, and then Gafford and Wright and Avisa can fall wherever. Avisa, whatever. Double for Joel. I can see that. Been waiting for my barber to get back for a week just to have someone else cut my hair tomorrow. Oof. And when your barber look at you with that side eye, it's going to be awkward the first cut or 2 back. But you guys will move on, and you'll be stronger because of it. Pacers at the Spurs. Next game on the docket. Projects 25 for the Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton, Andrew Nembhard, Buddy Hield, Aaron Naismith, Miles Turner taking on Trey Jones, Devin Vassell, Keita Bates, Yapa, Jeremy Sohan, Zach Collins. They got 237.5 total, 6.5 point spread in favor of the Pacers. So, Ken Burch, Kellen Johnson, Romeo Langford, Isaiah Roby, Josue, Mr. Sanchez. Thank you for the sub. Hope you're having a great day. Let's go check out the Spurs. So basically, we're looking for Branham status, and I think he's closer to out. But it's encouraging to see Devin Vassell in the lineup and Trey Jones. Questionable against the Pacers. All right, so the Spurs with this group, couple of guys that I think could pay off their price point. The Spurs seem like the key to the slate here, right? This feels like the Pistons. It feels like the Magic right now, where so many of these guys could pay off their price point, but they also could play 23 minutes and just be okay plays. A lot of stocking stuff for potential. So this is where I would utilize 150 lineups to kind of grab a couple ranges of outcomes. Devin Vassell. Anything on him? Hasn't played since January 2nd. Well, suited for Thursday's game versus the Pacers. There's got to be a limit, but is there words to the limit? Vassell seems likely to be limited while he gets up to speed on the conditioning front. It's unclear if Vassell will immediately slot back in the starting lineup, but I'd like to chip away some of the playing time from Branham and Blake Wesley. Interesting. That's annoying, but it's interesting. Sohan at 5,300 in a fast-paced matchup against the Pacers. 25-35 fantasy point window. Same with Trey Jones. So there's a lot of guys individually that I like. What are we thinking on a cap of Spurs? Maybe we put a cap of 2 Spurs and just let it rip. Zach Collins feels like one of my favorite clicks, points per minute. Kind of like the Pirtle situation. Can't really get too far north of 30 with a lot of confidence. But man, does he produce when he's out there. So I think the 27 to 28 minute projection is pretty fair. Last game, he went 2 for 15 and still dropped almost 30. That's crazy. It's these stocks, bro. So Collins is probably top of the podium in terms of confidence. And then the Pacer side. I think we're leaning on the Pacers for a lot of... for some props when we get to anywhere. So let's go Pacers. And let's go... Let's go February. Month of February. Let's put Halliburton on. Never cheat on your barber. I've been cutting my hair for a while. Used to have my last 2 girlfriends would cut my hair, but now I just go bald. Let's go Halliburton. Halliburton Turner on the court since the February 1st. 40% assist rate for Hallie. Turner's at a 26% assist or usage rate. So the assists for Hallie and Turner points feels like it could be a fun correlated click. Let's go check the market. Halliburton's usually anywhere between 9.5 to 11.5. If he's at 9.5 here, I'm just locking the over. I would assume the markets beat me to anything Halliburton related. Now, wait a minute. Wait. Do we have? Wait, what? Where's Halliburton? Do we not have Indiana? Is Hallie questionable? He is questionable. All right. Well then. Him and McConnell's a facilitator too, so if McConnell starts there. Halliburton's been one of the best point guards in fantasy basketball this season, so potential absence, blah, 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 blah. All right. Either way, though, I don't think, if anything, McConnell over Halliburton is a lateral at worst when it comes to facilitating. And McConnell's probably a little less likely to take over scoring. So I think Turner real points is looking really good. This should be a massive point spot for him. We look at, first of all, we look at team metrics, and don't get it twisted. Miles Turner could chuck threes, but if you're just gonna give him a free spot on the season, I think the Spurs allow the most points in the paint, and that could be a little bit unfair because of how different their team has been game to game. But yeah, Spurs give up the most points in the paint every game or all year, and then points in the paint. Let's go with Turner. Turner scores 9.2 points in the paint per game, leads the team, and we know he can chuck threes. So no matter what, you're gonna tell me Turner has like a 25% usage here? He's already averaging 18 points per game. The Spurs are... I'm going to go with Turner over real points. Let's see if the market's juicing anything. Maybe it was already at like 18.5, 19.5. It's already moved forward, possibly. So AOD, hope you're doing all right. So Miles, 20.5. A little bit coin flippy. A couple books. Pricing is really different. So like at PointsBet, there's a little steam on the over. At Caesars, a little steam on the under. I think the matchup just makes me like the over quite a bit. So let me take off Halliburton here. And we'll run this straight up, just Turner without Halliburton. But McConnell's just such a big assist guy that it almost is a, I don't want to say it's a plus, but it's almost a plus. Yeah, Turner's 26% usage, but it's still this Halliburton. Site is so buggy sometimes. Kyrie, 1.5 stocks. Crashing some lanes. I can get with that. There we go. The Turner about 24% usage. McConnell, look at this, 47% assist rate. That's right up there with Hallie. So I think I'm gonna nominate Miles Turner over 20.5 points and go from there. Anyone else on the Pacers score a sneaky amount of points in the paint? Like any of these guards driving to the rack like that? Halliburton does. Mathurin does, 7.4 points per game in the paint. And if Halliburton's down, could get a couple more minutes. So maybe we take a look at that. If they even offer it. They don't. Hopefully we get Halliburton news and develop some lines. If Halliburton did play, I don't know what a fair market line or line would be for his props. Probably anywhere between 9.5 and 10.5. Ali, thank you for the sub. I hope you're doing all right. You guys are out there lurking, enjoying the vibes, man. We started this stream at 8421 subs and refresh it. I know we picked up a couple in the last 10 minutes. Would you take Turner first half in case... We've got 10 subscribers since the stream started. Thank you, everyone. Would you take Turner first half in case of a blowout? Nah. I wouldn't, because 20 is not that high. Like 30 in a blowout would be something I'd be thinking about. But even if the game's over at half, he's still going to play the third quarter. So I probably want that third quarter of safety, because 20 is not that high. What I noticed on StatMuse, when he went over 40.5 playing with Luka, he went over the stocks each time. If we didn't get the stocks, he went under. It's just a hedge. Stocks are kind of volatile, high variance, but for like if it's just part of somebody's game, like I'm with it. Average is almost 2 stocks per game, and you're saying over 1.5 makes sense. I wouldn't push back on it, but I think it's hard to correlate. In the example that you're putting out there, it's hard to make that a 1-to-1 correlation, but I get what you're saying. Naismith is decent if Halliburton's out. Yeah, we'll look at that. We've got a couple games this season of Halliburton not playing. Ultimately, I think the constant has been TJ McConnell just nukes the slate. And TJ McConnell is 3,600 on DraftKings. So if you lose Halliburton, TJ McConnell, your lineups are going to come preloaded with TJ McConnell at 3,600. And you just kind of go from there. Somebody asked about Jalen Smith. I don't have any minutes on him. Am I messing up on Jalen Smith's projection? 16 minutes, 20 minutes. He's a point per minute monster. Maybe I gotta add some minutes. Why don't I? He's a backup to Turner. It's a super nutty matchup. This might be an oversight that I need to fix ASAP, huh? $15 minutes. So you're banking on extreme efficiency, but it's a heck of a matchup. So, but then like 3 games ago, he's a DNP. And Jordan Nwora is getting... I don't know. Gun's a sucker for assists. I am, bro. I wonder if we got Halliburton ruled out, would they give us a line on McConnell assists? Love Jalen Smith. They just don't play him. Yeah, Edwin. I agree. Jalen Smith, where was he at? Phoenix, maybe? He was a monster. He's always been a monster for fantasy when he gets run. But he never gets consistent run. Josue says, I don't think Hallie is not playing, which questioned the performance of Turner. So the thing with Miles Turner that I like in this situation is I don't think his upside is necessarily contingent on Hallie or McConnell. I could argue that he has more upside if Hallie's out because McConnell is less likely to give you 20-plus real points. Either way, I think because McConnell and Halliburton are so assist savvy and the matchup's so pure for centers and points in the paint, I think it's just a good spot for Turner no matter what. Like if it was Halliburton to like, I don't know, I can't think of a bad Jared Bailey. You know what I mean? Like it was to a nobody that isn't as talented, but McConnell is very talented at dishing as well. So I think whoever they feature at point guard, whether it be Halliburton or McConnell, they're both going to be playmaking and facilitating, and it's such a soft matchup that I think Turner's kind of safe no matter what. Do you ever cover UFC fantasy? I don't, Steven. I don't try to pretend to know stuff I don't know about, you know? What I master in is NBA, baseball, and football. Baseball is kind of what I would say put me on the map, but I get way more views and engagement for basketball. So, but baseball is my passion. McConnell assists would be like 7, 8.5. Yeah, I can see that. And then maybe like McConnell's another guy that he'll pick some pockets, right? Averaging a steal per game in minimal minutes as it is against the San Antonio Spurs. So with McConnell, if something dropped on PrizePicks, I'd probably be more inclined to want to get into a fantasy point prop. So if they dropped him at like 25 to 32, if McConnell was out, or excuse me, if Halliburton was out, I could see McConnell pushing 40 fantasy points in PrizePicks scoring. So I don't think they would get near that number for props, but yeah. What up, Robert? Hope you're doing all right. All right, we got 1 game left on the docket. Take a pause for the cause. You guys want to lock in early bird special is what we're calling it. Maybe tonight I'll create a like a baseball pass, but we wanted to have something up for baseball since spring training is back, kind of stirring the love here. So the year pass, we'll call it the early bird special, which is market price right now, $4.99. So basically $500 comes with a $150 credit. We're gonna take $100 off of that. If you go to memberships and you go to have a coupon code and you type the letters MLB, it's gonna go down to $3.99. And then if you take $150 off because you're gonna get a $150 credit towards Fantasy Cruncher, it goes even lower, right? So you're getting a crazy deal. It's going to get you all VIP until January 1st, 2024. So you're going to get the rest of this NBA season, the beginning of next NBA season, most of the NFL season up until January 1, the entire baseball season. That's daily spreadsheets for baseball and basketball. That's the daily voice chats where we're vibing out. There's gonna be a lot of overlap in a couple weeks, so go take advantage of that. And if you guys haven't been around for baseball, or if you're expecting to play the baseball season this year, you're gonna be newer, I think we do an incredible job of bridging the gap between casual understanding of baseball and the advanced metric and analytical understanding of baseball. And the bomb detector is just so much fun. So go check out all that. Also, if you're looking for other ways to support the stream, support the site, and you haven't created accounts on like PrizePicks, No House Advantage, Thrive, Underdog, any of those sites, if you sign up using code GUNDACKER, they show me some love, and then you also get your first deposit bonus up to $100. So those are the plugs. Get them out of the way. We'll go to the main event, and then we'll move on. Clippers, main event. Project starting five. Russell Westbrook, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris, Ivica Zubac, taking on Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Dante DiVincenzo, Draymond Green, Kevin Looney. A 232 total, a 3.5 point spread in favor of the visiting LA Clippers. 232 total is crazy. But here we are. So the injury list here for the Warriors: Curry, Iguodala, Payton, Wiggins, all out. Jordan Poole has a tag on him, hiccup. So let's see what's the 411 on that. Playing So Rare. I haven't got on So Rare yet. I don't understand it. Is it just like what DraftKings is, like Rainmakers, but off of DraftKings? Jordan Poole, lefty, who has been upgraded, available. All right, cool. So matchup wise, or just price wise, everyone makes sense, right? You can get to some Westbrook, some Paul George, some Kawhi Leonard. We probably have to stagger those guys. I know these guys are coming off that ridiculous game the other night with the All-Star score, and then they curtain call with a more medium set of games against the T-Wolves and the Nuggets. And then we also got maybe some more information on what the plan is with Russell Westbrook. You know, going from a 39-minute debut to 25-28, not playing in the fourth quarter or overtime. So maybe that takes the top off of Westy's ceiling. And also maybe for attacking Westbrook on PrizePicks, we consider first half props instead. We'll see what the constant ends up. It's only a few game sample size, but didn't touch the court in the fourth quarter against Denver. And then against Minnesota, played a little bit to close out. So maybe Westbrook's going to be front-loaded when it comes to minutes, and maybe we use that as a lean right now for PrizePicks. But man, Kawhi Leonard's been on a different stratosphere right now. And Westbrook, when he's on the court, getting those assists like he does, 10 assists in against Minnesota in 28 minutes where the team scored 101. We could kind of throw most of the Sacramento game out the window in terms of anything because of them scoring almost enough points for 2 games. So we're still working with a volatile and limited sample size, so we're just kind of going off of historical knowledge on a guy like Westbrook. But if they're going to be implied for 118 points or whatever it is, you expect him to be involved. So what is the lines on Westbrook? Is it 7 assists? That's right on the edge of comfort. But maybe I'll take a stab at like his first half stuff if they offer it. NBA first half Westbrook 17.5. Ironically, the game he didn't do is the game they scored 170, but that might be the lean here for me. Is the first half stuff there. Maybe not enough to nominate just yet. And then let's go to the Clippers. And let's just do a usage check on Kawhi, because this man is just going nutty with it. So since February 1st, we put him and Paul George on the court together. You think I would do good on So Rare? Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe. What up, Darius? Hope you're doing all right. Siakam up and down in rebounds, period. Portal doesn't help. Yeah, I can see that. We'll look at that. Wasn't there a game where Siakam played the 5 and Pirtle didn't start, or am I just making that up? I feel like there might have been a game like that. All right. So Kawhi and Paul George on the court together, 26% usage, I guess, for the pair. $1.25 DraftKings points per minute for Kawhi. Same on FanDuel. So I know there's been a lot of love for Kawhi's offense lately. 19-19, pretty efficient, getting to the free throw. 20-plus points in 3 straight games. I don't know. I still think the volatility in this lineup will play a factor going forward from time to time. But I get it. I get why we're here. I think I'm just approaching this with the spin the wheel, make a deal strategy. 8,500 on Paul George can coexist, I think, with Kawhi at 93 on a 4-game slate. Could we get 100 points from the two? I think it's possible. Zubac. I guess I should mention that. Right when I went live, a notice came out about Zubac being questionable, right? So let me refresh that. So maybe that would open up some more peripherals. Where are we at on likes, guys? 66 likes on 250 viewers. Man, if you're a real one, hit that thumbs up. Right here, Zubac now listed as questionable, and so is Marcus Morris. So let me add that, Zubac, and then Marcus Morris. So those are two guys that do represent a decent chunk of minutes. And if Zubac was not able to play, and Marcus Morris, do we get like a really small ball? Oh, I guess Mason Plumlee. So Mason Plumlee might be at 5K, a late value, and we may not have actionable information, but we saw him play 25 and 27 minutes. Sacramento and Denver, point per minute or better. I'd likely get there again. So something to keep an eye on, I guess. And then if they ended up going smaller, which I think Plumlee's the answer, but you could see, who do they use? Batum, Rocco, somebody in their small lineup. I guess Plumlee's just been all of the backup minutes. But did Rocco play backup center in those games that Plumlee started? Or was it Batum? Yeah, it looks like they went super small. I guess, and Marcus Morris maybe filled in a little bit as well. So if you don't have Morris or Plumlee, yeah, it could be really small, really small. And then I wonder if Golden State, we've seen Golden State do a lineup where Looney doesn't start and Draymond plays the 5 and put like a Kuminga or somebody in there. So a couple of ways that this could go, huh? Bruce Leroy, thank you so much for the sub. They all dead and gone. What's up, yo, Elvis? Hope you're doing all right. Took Leonard over points. He's due for a breakout game. Still not sure. Man, we're not taking props because they're due. I don't mind it. I think with the usage being similar on all these guys, and Paul George, Kawhi, Russell Westbrook, all these guys able to stuff the stat sheet as well, you know, and all of them essentially averaging, other than Westbrook, 2 stocks per game. I feel like more often than not, I'd be looking for fantasy points on those guys. Hey. Bradley P, thank you so much for the sub. Hope you're doing all right. So Kawhi's fantasy line is at 40.5. It's probably going to be close to what Paul George is, huh? 38, yeah. I'd probably be dabbling with their overs. And then lastly, let's look at the Warrior side, because why can I quit you? You guys mentioned Jordan Poole assist. God dang it. Why? Why have you forsaken me? Oh my gosh. That's too low, bro. That's too low. That's too low. That's too low. It's literally too low. I can't not bet that, y'all. I cannot not lock in over 4.5. Westbrook for over 5 assists. Where are you getting 5 assists at, Sanchez? It was 7 on PrizePicks, right? And that's linear to the market. Let me see. What's the market on Jordan Poole? Find someone who loves you like Gundacker loves overs on Jordan Poole assists. Market is steaming the over 4.5. Thankfully, the market agrees with me here. But put a little bit of context to why I like this. Jordan Poole, February 1st. Let's put him on the court with Clay and Draymond. Draymond's the guy that people think is automatic point guard. And don't get me wrong, he'll facilitate. But for Jordan Poole's props to be so much different than Draymond's every slate, like Jordan Poole has a 31% assist rate this month without Curry. And we can elongate on that. Let's just go to the beginning of the year. You know what I'm saying? It's going to bump to 5. Absolute parlays on DraftKings. Oh, you're outlining it? Okay, yeah, if 5 is fair. I'm with you. So just opening up the window here just a little bit. Poole's assists goes to 25%, but this does add like Wiggins, but it's still oh wait, it threw Curry back in the mix. Oh yeah, I'm stupid. I forgot. They did the death lineup. That's super low. It is super low, but like it could be 6.5 right now. I'd still be interested. So 4.5 is like freakishly low. So I'm in on that. So I guess the two that make the list: Jordan Poole over 4.5 assists and Miles Turner over 20.5 points. But yeah, so it goes back up to 28%, which is literally higher than Draymond. But it feels like every day Draymond's assist prop is always higher than Jordan Poole, and I don't understand it. I don't. One last thing. Let's go to StatMuse. Jordan Poole assist by game log without Steph Curry last 10 games. So 4.5 is our benchmark. 6, 8. There's a couple 4s in here, which is trolly, but the assist percentage is just way too high. 29 minutes. We're getting more minutes there. Whatever. I'm in on a assist over. So my list is Turner over 20.5 points, Jordan Poole over 4.5 assists. And that's all I got to say about that. And then if we lose Zubac, it depends on what the Warriors throw out as a starting lineup, because we'll see if they respond small with Looney or not. But Looney has like a 19% rebound rate, and Zubac has a 17%. Mason Plumlee has a 17%-ish as well. I guess I was going to say, I think Mason Plumlee starts if Zubac can't. I'm a sucker for Looney's rebounds, but that's probably getting a little cute from this far out. What's the prop on him? 10.5. Yikes. He's such a rebound machine, bro. It's crazy. In this split, Looney's at a 24% of teams' total rebound opportunities. That's nuts. It's crazy. Siakam over 20 points, good or bad? The Raptors are so evenly distributed that I'm not that enamored with it. But if that's is 20 an alt line? 20 seems low. I was gonna say if that's 23.5 is his line. So like it's value versus the market. It should hit. But that's just alt line stuff. But the Raptors are a frustrating team to prop bet when they're fully healthy. Like extremely frustrating, because you just don't know. It's like a bunch of 22% usage rates, right? Leaning Looney under rebounds. He's not playing enough minutes to get those boards. Let's put context to that statement though. 7 minutes against Portland, but then 17, 13, 15, 14. So he's been, I mean, that he's only missed that line once. It just happened to be the last game. His rebound rate's ridiculous. So I don't know, man. It's one of those, like, I would probably just leave it alone both ways, but I don't know that we could say he's not playing enough minutes to get that. He just happened to not get it last game, but his rebound rate's sick. What happened in that game? Was that the game? Let's see. Looney started. He must have been in. What happened here? Ty Jerome, Jonathan Kuminga. He only played a couple minutes in the second quarter. I don't know what that's about. Maybe it was a matchup thing. Who's on the court here? Reddish, Eubanks, Grant, Lillard. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Dang, it's 4:05. Looney in a reserve role is actually a better rebounder. I think he's just an insane rebounder no matter what. Because, like, we got him on the court with the starters, and he represents 24% of teams' total rebound opportunities. So no matter what, I think they let him out there to rebound. It's just the minutes is what it comes down to. Anyway, any good money line bets? I don't really do money lines, especially since all these games are lopsided. I think I agree with all of the spreads here in terms of favorites. I think the Raptors can be disappointing. So, like, this is probably the closest pick'em game. I think Wizards and Raptors, a fully healthy Wizards team, sans Monte Morris, but everything else makes a lot of sense to me. I guess you can make a case that the Sixers with a fresh Embiid could do well here, but I think the Pacers should beat up the Spurs. I don't know. I guess these games are closer. 23.6 minutes. He don't need a lot of time. Yeah, his rebound rate is so freaking high. All right, guys, I gotta get into the Discord. If you guys would, on your way out, hit that thumbs up, hit that sub button. We'll be back tomorrow. Should be a much bigger slate. And we almost had a 20 sub stream. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys making part of my day, be part of your day. I really do. Tell somebody out there that you love them, because guess what? I love you. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.